Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this week's SITREP. My name is Natalie.
And my name is Shelia.
As always, before we introduce our guest for this week, Shelia and I will be discussing MVPN and the Veterans One Stop. So as you know, Military Veteran Peer Network, we offer peer support services. We do one-on-one peer support, which we consider like our battle buddy type program, where you and a volunteer will get together to determine when and how long you guys get in contact. So you have total control of the support that you're getting. We also do peer support groups. Our peer support groups are Haven, which stands for Harassment, Assault, Violence Ends Now for sexual assault or sexual trauma. We also have Pathfinders, which is our general peer support group. We have the Other Side, which is for dependents, family members, and or friends of anyone who has been in the military. We have Yarnaholics, which is our crochet group. And I'm missing one. No? Okay, and those are all of our groups. We also are always looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering with us, please reach out to Shelia or myself, and we can get you squared away with the information and the training that you need. We also assist with community resources. So anything having to do with rental and utilities, finding employment, literally anything, any assistance you need. There's nothing too big or too small that we cannot help you with, or refer you to the proper agency that can help you with your needs. And lastly, we also offer suicide prevention and suicide awareness trainings. So we have ASK, which is Ask About Suicide to Save a Life, CALM Counseling, which stands for Counseling on Access to Lethal Means. We have Mental Health First Aid and SAVE training, which is done in collaboration with the VA. We also hold parent cafes, and we are so excited to start our in-person parent cafes. So that is in collaboration with the Center for Children, and it focuses on the 5 protective factors to build a stronger foundation within your families. So please, if you're interested in attending any of our trainings in the parent cafe, or you just want more information on our program, please reach out to Shelia and I. And now I will stop rambling, and I will turn it over to her to talk about the Veterans One Stop.
Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. So the Veterans One Stop Center offers clinical services, mental health services for service members, veterans, and their family. It's regardless of your discharge status. It's regardless of what area you served in. We're going to get you taken care of. They do individual counseling, marriage counseling, and family counseling. So also housed at the Veterans One Stop Center, we have a lot of different or other organizations. We have the Veterans Business Association. So if you have any questions regarding business, they can take care of you. We have Grand Canyon University. So even if you're not going to that particular university, they can still help you in regards to education questions. We have Texas Veterans Commission Claims Department. So if you're trying to start your disability, you want to raise your disability, they can assist you with that. OSAR is housed here, which is Outreach, Screening, Assessment, and Referrals. They focus on substance use disorder issues. So anything from alcohol to something harder, they can get you taken care of. We also have SUD Employment. Again, substance use disorders. If you have any of those type of issues, they can help you as far as seeking employment. And then of course we're housed here, but Natalie's already covered that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guests for today. We have Bob and Barbara from Marriage Management, Inc. And then we have Ron and Andrea, who are volunteers with Marriage Management, Inc. and MVPN. And they have their own organization called Strive. That was a mouthful, but I got it out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you guys. Thank you guys for joining us.
Point, Shelia. Good afternoon. I'm Bob. That's Barbara. We started this program called Marriage Management many years ago because we saw a big need in the veteran community. We had been working in marriage enrichment for about 40 years, and we were selected to go overseas, join the Chaplain's Corps project there in Germany to do retreats for the American military personnel throughout Germany. Well, that just fell right into my need right there. And my honey was nice enough to follow me along because I needed to continue my service. I served back in 1970 in the Signal Corps and never got deployed. So I felt I needed to deploy. So this was my big deployment to Germany for a year. And it kind of got back in my blood. The reason we were there in Germany is because this is during peacetime. there was a 70% divorce rate among American military personnel. And
Barbara, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
That the issues that we encountered were pretty universal, and that we needed some ways to handle that caused on the marriage.
Barbara, I'm so sorry, I can't hear you. And I feel like you're saying something very valuable. I just want to make sure we don't miss it. I'm sorry.
we're gonna bring it close to her so she can speak. Tell her again what you said.
And so what we realized was that the issues that we encountered were common in all the relationships, and we needed a way to deal with the extra stresses that the military put on married life.
We have two of our instructors.
Can't hear you. Bob, I can't hear you.
Couldn't hear me either?
You're good
Now
now.
you can hear me. Okay, the microphone needs to be pointed toward me. I guess it's unidirectional, like my mind. So, Ron and Andrea, you've been on one of our programs. I think you can speak to how it addresses special challenges.
Oh, yes. The program helped us immensely. We're still using a lot of the tools that we learned in the program to this day.
Yeah. And what I liked about the program, it is like a peer-to-peer program. This is not a death by PowerPoint. This is something that we share our experiences as military couples, now veteran couples, to other couples. And so this program has been very, we have the data now. I mean, data proven that it has helped couples to navigate their marriage and manage it well.
And Ron and Andrea are two of our instructors, and they do a fantastic job here in El Paso.
The reason that they do a fantastic job is all of our instructors have been there, done that. We are all veterans. Our entire staff is veterans, and we purposely designed it that way, veteran couple to veteran couple, because a lot of times veterans will say that civilians just don't get it. So we're very careful to find folks that get it. And we designed the program, it's using an evidence-based curriculum that we really like. And what I have to say from the beginning, the Texas Veterans Commission, Fund for Veterans Assistance, have been fantastic in giving us grants for the last 6 or 7 years so that we could bring this throughout Texas. And we've just been renewed for another year, so we'll be offering this program continuously throughout the next year. Tell them what's unique about our program, Barbara.
What's unique about our program is it's both a husband and a wife giving their point of view and their experiences, sharing the stories and the things they've gone through. A lot of times it ends up sharing all the dumb mistakes that we made, but that we learn from along the way. Our latest was, I had open heart surgery 9 weeks ago. And we had a discussion beforehand because the previous times I've been very ill, Bob was not so great about stepping up to the plate and taking care of things. But because we learned from that mistake, this time things went much more smoothly.
Yeah, Daddy finally pitched in and was able to do something right. We have a special theme that the marriage management is built on. It's called boots on versus boots off. When you're in the military, anytime, or even separated from the military, all of your life you think like a warrior, because that's what we were trained to do. I say it, you do it, and somebody's life's going to be saved. So we think that way, which is logical. It's why we have the best military in the world, because we're very efficient. It's very logical. We learn how to adapt. We learn how to keep going, but it's I say it, you do it. That's how it works. One way. Mission oriented. So that's boots on thinking. What we found that once you've left the military or you come home on a leave or something, you can't take the boots off. So we try to teach people, okay, when your boots are on, that that kind of thinking is going to save your life. But when you're home, hey, honey, I said it, you do it. Yeah, you go to, So boots off thinking is a two-way. You give and you take. Relationships.
So that you're looking to achieve something that's a win-win for both parties.
That's very difficult when you're serving. If First Sergeant called me up and said, hey, Zeke, go get that Humvee and bring it over to the motor pool, I would say, yes, sir, and I do it. That's boots off thinking, and that works for the military. But if I were to say to the First Sergeant, I really need to take a break right now. I have to go to the bathroom. And by the way, that Humvee needs an oil change, so I don't think I should take that one. Besides, I've got to go to lunch afterwards, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. You know where that would get me. But I'm telling you how I feel right now. Doesn't work with boots on, is very necessary for boots off. You're on, Ron. Give us some more on boots on, boots off. I'm putting him on the spot.
Well, thank you, Bob. I said one of the things I learned from actually going through the program and actually now facilitating the program is that you have to listen with your heart. You have to listen with your heart. With the two-way communication, not just listening with these two pieces of meat on the side of my head, but actually listening, with my heart to what my wife is saying and what my wife is not saying.
Andrea?
Yeah, I like what he said. Sometimes we do definitely need to listen to our heart, because and also I like what I got out of the program as a veteran spouse is that when you make sure that you don't have the resentment in a marriage, especially as a veteran spouse, because we're always supporting our soldier. Sometimes we tendency can have some resentment and those unspoken words. And that is another part of our program on how to deal with the resentment and do it with respect. And so I was ugly. I was real ugly. And I learned how to be more respectful to him and voice my resentment and him leaving me all those times and him focusing on the military and not considering me. And through us going and having those huddles, because that's what we talk about too, we have been more respectful to each other in hearing our voices and hearing our concerns. So yes.
The program we use is called Couple Links Military by Dr. John Van Epp, and it is an evidence-based program. What we like about it is it talks about the 5 bonding elements in a relationship. So we talk about knowing, trusting, relying, committing, and intimacy in the relationship and how to build those things. So it doesn't, you can start off in a really bad place and build from there, or you can be in a good place and just strengthen where you are.
Now, this program is not just for bad marriages. It's for everyone that needs a good tune-up. In fact, Barbara has a great saying. She says, every relationship, every marriage, and we don't judge what a marriage is. A couple's a couple. Come on, bring your support person, your lover, your partner, your wife, or your husband, or your companion, your whoever. Bring them along. We want that support person with you. But the important part is, when you come, you need to kind of have an open mind, because we do try to change your thinking. That can be very difficult. So we have a thing called a huddle. We give you private time. We're not teaching and preaching. We have folks like Ron and Andrea, Barbara and I, all of our other couples that share with you their experiences so that you can understand and choose how you want to respond to those things. For instance, we got married in a hurry, and our honeymoon consisted of moving Barbara from St. Louis, her home, to my home in New Jersey, where I put her in an apartment and very promptly joined the Army, all within 2 weeks. So.
I was talking about the program.
Share stories like that because there was a lot of resentment built up, and it took years to dissipate that. I was still thinking with boots on. By the way, I still have my boots. Original issue, 1970, boots, black, leather, combat. I love those boots. When I put those boots on, all the training comes back. And I tend to behave that way. So literally, I have to take my boots off. I can only use them outside to cut the lawn. However, we have to start looking at each other in a boots off situation with a lot of the same thinking, but applied differently. Barbara's my battle buddy now. She's also my wounded warrior. So we try to establish the fact that when you bond with your unit in a combat situation, that's necessary. You have to know them, know their skills. You have to trust them. You know, that's the person on the left and right's got my 6. Trust is so important. You have to rely on them to do their job so you could do your job and everybody gets out of this okay. You are committed. You're committed to a mission. You have a very clear path to go on. And as far as emotions are concerned and touch, intimacy, all those is different kind of intimacy within a unit. There's an intimacy within a marriage unit as well. So it all builds from the same bonding techniques. We want to bond with our buddies. Here's our buddy. We need to learn to bond with this one.
I think what we do is we teach some skills. We teach them, we demonstrate them, and then we have couples practice them privately. So that they have a chance.
You're coming in and out.
They're kind of monitor and see if they're catching on to the idea or if they need some help and cooperation. And that's what makes it a little different, because you are actually going to be doing as we go along.
Our programs are usually one-day programs from 09 to 1600. And
They're free.
they're free, courtesy of the Texas Veterans Commission. We do provide lunch. We're hoping to be able to provide childcare. And this year we're adding a new dimension to the program, sort of an aftercare program. Once you've completed the program, we'll have like monthly coffee shops, or give me a good name. Huddle times, there you go. You'll get together, probably online or in person, be able to do one of the exercises, be able to privately share. And that's an important thing that we didn't mention, that when the sharing is done within the workshop, it's private. You don't have to spill your feelings all over the room. You know, you're with your partner and you privately share so that you can feel confident. We try to create a very safe environment, especially for the veteran or military.
Oh, that's awesome. And I like the fact that you're very transparent with, you know what I'm saying, your own marriage, you know what I'm saying, because people can relate to that, especially, you know, outside looking in, your marriage might look perfect, but not everybody's marriage is perfect. So I thank you for being so transparent.
There's no such thing.
Can't hear you.
There's healthy marriages or unhealthy marriages.
Yeah, every marriage has problems. We had an argument yesterday in the car. But I'm able to handle it a little better right now. Every marriage has problems. The fact that your marriage has problems, has issues, has concerns and challenges does not make it a bad marriage or relationship. However, how you handle that problem or that issue determines the health of your marriage. So knowing the military mind, you want to be able to handle the problems with the proper tools. So that's why we're here, just to give you good tools for the toolbox so you can reach in there when you need to and get yourself out of the doghouse.
All right, so before I let you guys go, just want to confirm real quick. So this couples retreat is for active duty veterans, correct? So both, not just veterans, correct? Okay, and then what if you're just dating somebody? Are you eligible to come, even though if you're not technically married? Are you
Yes.
still eligible for it? Okay, I know some of the questions were probably asked.
Or the other of the partners that are coming has worn the uniform of the United States military at any time, any discharge status, we want to serve you because you served us.
Awesome. Can't hear. Barbara, we can't hear you.
If you're a vet, we need your DD 214.
Okay.
Or your license that says that you're a vet. Or if you're serving, we just need to show your ID at the door. Again, this is free. We try to have one at least once a month in the El Paso area. Oh yes, the important stuff, the commercial. Please go to www.marriagemanagement.org. That's marriagemanagement.org. And we specifically call it that because like any other mission, you have to learn to manage it.
Makes perfect sense. So before I let you go, we are having a couples retreat next month on June 11th. So it's already been set. All you gotta do is go to their site and register and they'll get you taken care of. Natalie, you have anything for them?
I have nothing. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.